Friend, Shabbat Shalom again. Thank you for the privilege of speaking with you this evening. I went a little long at the beginning of the service, so I'm not going to extend this message. I want to get to its point. Tonight is part 2 of my exploration of the liturgies of the High Holidays. And as I stated last week and I state this evening, if we want to understand the beauty and spirit of Judaism in general and the High Holidays specifically, it's really important to be mindful of the prayers that we say. They have a history and meaning, and reflecting upon any one of them can be a source of inspiration. When I was a rabbi in New York City, my congregation, like ours, did not celebrate the second day of Rosh Hashanah. So Jane and I decided one year to attend the second day services at Central Synagogue in New York. It's a gigantic sanctuary. It's a gigantic synagogue. And that day, it was like 2/3 filled for the second day of Rosh Hashanah, which is quite impressive. And the service is beautiful and orchestrated and has pageantry and just a wonderful experience. The Devar Torah, the message for that day, was not given by the rabbi. It was given by Ambassador Michael Oren, the Israeli ambassador to the United States at that time, who was originally from New Jersey and had a connection to liberal Judaism. And he spoke a beautiful message that day. But by the end of the service, Rabbi Rubenstein, the rabbi of the congregation, got up and started talking about the final hymn of the service. And then he went on to speak of his own classical Reform roots, and that as long as he was the rabbi of Central Synagogue, and he was very close to retirement at the time, Rosh Hashanah services would always end with this classic Jewish English hymn that is very popular at the New Reform Temple, very popular to me, and I've made it very popular for Becky and Nathan Bliss. It is, for those of you who have been at the service, all the world shall come to serve thee. And then, of course, the cantor and the choir began this powerful rendition of this hymn, and I was very pleased. Now, I grew up on this hymn when I was in junior high school and high school, belonged to Reform Synagogue. We had the Old Union prayer book, the Old Union High Holiday prayer book, and at the end of the service, you sing, all the world shall come to serve thee. Now, at our services, it's always there on the morning of Rosh Hashanah, and I struggle every year because I want to sing it by myself, leading the congregation, but Becky and Nathan don't allow me to do that because they love the synagogue. They don't want anything bad to happen. Now, people criticize this hymn. They say it sounds too churchy. It doesn't sound Jewish enough. And they're partially right, because when you do the history of the music, it is an old English folk song. It was used at least 3 times in Christian hymns. But even with all the criticism, I believe that they are wrong. It's an amazing hymn. It's very Jewish. And I just want to refer to it, what it says, and just tell you what I think it means and why it's significant. So the first... Oh, I've got to find it. No, I don't have the right prayer book. Hold on a second. Okay, so here is the last page of our morning service on Rosh Hashanah. And let me read the first paragraph. It says, all the world shall come to serve you and bless your glorious name. And your righteousness triumphant, the island shall proclaim. The people shall go seeking who knew you not before. And the ends of earth shall praise you and tell your greatness o'er. Goes on, there's 4 or 5 paragraphs, but let's talk about that paragraph, which really is the essential message. Now, we Jews love our tradition. We love our holidays, we love our prayers, we love our rituals. We are proud of our Judaism and want to hold on to it and preserve it and to extend it to the next generation. And the High Holidays are one way for our to affirm the beauty and our love of tradition. But there is the other end of it. Because Judaism is not just only concerned with the particular what our religious experience is, but there is this recognition that we share with all the people of the world a certain joint mission, a certain commonality. And all the world should come to serve thee is the great statement. It is the statement that Reformed Jews have believed for a long time. It's the Reformed Jewish statement about what happens when the Messiah comes. The Messiah in Jewish tradition, whether you think it's a person or you think it's a period of time, the goal is to bring people together for a common purpose, which according to Rosh Hashanah is the sovereignty of God, the belief that all of us fundamentally need to share certain basic moral values, certain ethical values, certain beliefs that will weave us together as a just and caring society. So when we read or chant, all the world shall come to serve you, it's that statement. We're ending our service. We're about to leave. We're excited that we have shared together Rosh Hashanah morning services, anticipate eating apples and honey and whatever we do on the rest of Rosh Hashanah. But the message that we want to bring to the world that's in our hearts is we love this tradition. We share, we have experienced the blowing of the shofar and all that is beautiful in Jewish tradition. But on one hand, we love our tradition and affirm it. On the other hand, we seek this commonality. We seek this love of all humanity. And there's a beautiful statement that is found in the Pittsburgh Platform, which is the original statement of Reformed Judaism, that kind of affirms this. It was written in 1885. It said, "We recognize in every religion an attempt to grasp the infinite, and in every mode, source, or book of revelation held in sacred in any religious system, the consciousness of the indwelling of God in man." So this is a celebration of not only our love for our own tradition, but our love of all humankind. And our prayer this year and every year is that we can transcend our differences and come together to make this world the kingdom of God, the place where the values and ideals and challenges of a belief in God can bring people to righteousness and justice. So we're going to keep singing it, and I pray that this commentary will give it more meaning and substance as we go towards Rosh Hashanah. So let's continue.